Hey everyone, welcome to San Salvador, El Salvador. So let's take a look and see what the city looks like, how it has changed from the recent times, the last couple of years, everything that has changed, and let's take a tour. This is the historic center, and here we have the cathedral, the main cathedral in the capital, and right next to it we have the National Palace, Palacio Nacional, and then on the other side there's a new library. This is the National Library of El Salvador, which was built a year ago at the end of 2023. And it's an incredible building. It's modern, it's a state-of-the-art building. Each floor, I think it's about maybe 7 floors actually. And there's an outlook at the top, there's a restaurant, and it's an incredible place to spend your day or your afternoon reading. There's free Wi-Fi, air conditioning, definitely a must visit. According to El Salvador's government, the country and the city of San Salvador has become one of the safest places in Latin America, and one of the reasons is because of the presence of police. Everywhere you walk, there are police officers, there are security guards. I mean, it's really difficult to get away with anything because truly all eyes are on you. So that's something that has made the city a lot safer, is because there's a presence of police that no one can get away with anything. So this used to be one of the most dangerous areas of the city up until 2 years ago, up until the government started implementing strict regulations and making sure that they got rid of the criminals. So I wouldn't be able to walk calmly around this part of town, especially at night. I've heard stories that even drivers wouldn't want to come through here because of how dangerous it was. But as you can see now, it looks, there's commotion, there's people, they're walking around, and the traffic is absolutely horrendous because they have closed a lot of the streets here in the city center. But traffic is not such a life or death thing as criminals. So definitely this is a price to pay, more traffic because they want to control the city more. But that's a good thing because people are safer. So here we are at the Plaza de la Libertad, the Freedom Square. And this is where, you see a lot of older people just relaxing, sitting down under the trees. Find a cool place because it's really hot here. Here we are. Small little square. You have stores around. There's an interesting looking church. Something that I've noticed is that now that they've closed the traffic for cars right in the city center, it's a lot more quiet, and it just gives this sense of peacefulness, almost like an old town in Europe, where everything's walking, you can walk in the streets without problems. So this is the beginning of the country, that now that they're beginning to change, they're beginning to develop, and you can see it, like in the energy of people, you can see it in the way they feel about their president, and there's definitely a development. It's going to develop into a tremendous place. Here we have another cathedral near the city center. It looks a bit older, the facade has got a lot more detail than the other churches. I don't know the name. It will be interesting to find out what it's called. I'm gonna have to ask someone. Disculpa, ¿sabes cómo se llama la iglesia esta?
Calvario.
¿Cómo?
Iglesia del Calvario.
Iglesia del Calvario, gracias. Well, there we go. That's what it's called. Iglesia del Calvario, the Calvario church. Here we are at a market. One of the things you'll see a lot here is a lot of these markets where people are selling everything from fruits, vegetables, clothing, some of the local fruits like those things there, jocotes. So basically, most fruits cost $1. And it's interesting because they have these recordings that they do saying what it is that they're selling and giving you the price. So, for example, mangoes for $1, mangoes for $1, but it's actually just a recording of it. So it's a sense of almost like a hypnosis. Like they hypnotize you with what they're selling in the price. Well, obviously not everybody has recordings because some people actually repeat the same thing over and over. Yes, it's definitely closing time. It's very quiet here. And I'm just so surprised that just 2 years ago, this whole area was the most dangerous place in the world, arguably. And now, you know, not to say that it's 100% safe because you always have to be careful wherever you are when you travel. But just knowing that there's presence of security and police just at least makes you feel a lot safer. But to think that 2 years ago, this was the most dangerous place, definitely in Latin America and maybe even in the world, to see it become just a place full of people, you know, that want to improve their lives. And that's the one thing about the Salvadoran people that I've seen, and they've proven it because that's what they do, is they hustle. That's what describes the Salvadoran, is hustling, is getting up in the morning and getting to work, doing whatever they can with what they have, and keeping that smile on their face. No, nonetheless, everything has been quite difficult for them for many years. So it's a light of hope and excitement at the same time, because this is a country that's absolutely on its way up, and I can't wait to come back here and to explore a lot more and to see things getting better and better. All right, that is all for today. I'm going to come back tomorrow and record some more videos from different parts of the city. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And now I am going to the National Craft Market. It's basically where you can buy traditional souvenirs, clothing of El Salvador. Here we are at the National Craft Market. Let's go inside and take a look. No, gracias.
Esos son los que están allá afuera. De
Sí,
sí.
¿Qué otros tienen?
Están estos de cuero.
The adventure from the market is over, and it's a really nice place. It's actually quite cozy. It's not big at all. It's quite small. You can probably see it all in 15 minutes, but it's worth it because you can see just more, you know, authentic things, like artisan stuff here instead of other markets in the center. So I highly recommend to make the trip over here and to take some souvenirs home. Next on the agenda is I want to go to the park, Parque Cuscatlan Park. So let's head over and we're going to take the public transportation. Here we go, Salvador style. All right, that was fun. So basically, the thing is, when you travel by public transport, if you want to request a stop, you have two options. You either whistle really loud, which I can't do, or you bang on the side of the bus. So that's my approach. It's like, you know, you have to hit the bus really hard and then they'll stop. But here we are at Parque Cuscatlán. Let's go take a little walk. Here we are at the park. It's a place to get a little break from the bustling city. You know, some trees. I think the air is a lot fresher here, and at least we get to hear the birds. So there are not a lot of parks in San Salvador, at least in the city center. I think this is the only one. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But it's nice to get away from the craziness of the traffic and the noise of the city. You know, there's even a little theater over there. I'll show you. There's the outdoor theater. It probably accommodates 100 people. Here it is, Parque Cuscatlán. Oh, look, there's even a gym. Outdoor gym. We'll have to go find out and do some pull-ups. You know, one of the most difficult things about traveling is finding the time and the motivation to actually do some training. And you don't need to go to a gym. All you need is to find some space. But I think the most important thing is you need discipline. That is the most important thing when exercising and staying in shape, when traveling especially. But discipline is number one. So let's work on our discipline today. Here it is. Let's see what they have. The world famous Salvadoran outdoor gym. Let's see. They got a few machines. There it is. Gimnasio Urbano, urban gym. All right. I don't know what I would do with these things, but for me, this is all I need. A pull-up bar. There we go. I found my gym. All right, the break at the park is over, but it was necessary, it was therapeutic. So now it's time to go back into the craziness of the city and explore it a little bit more. Now I'm going to take the public transport again to a different part of the city.
Sí, ya voy.
So I made it to my final destination in San Salvador. This place is called Planes de Renderos, and it's basically a famous place for pupusas. The best pupusas are made here in the capital. And in a little bit, we're gonna go and try one of them. So here from the lookout, you can see the volcano to the far left, but the visibility is not too good because it's quite smoggy. And the city is kind of like a valley, so it sits between the volcano and these hills here and that mountain there. So the smog just stays there unless it's windy, but today is quite hot, and as you can see, it's quite smoggy. Okay, now let's go find some pupusas, some delicious pupusas. This is the best place in the world for them, or at least in the city. So I heard from the locals that this place here is one of the best, if not the best. It's called El Ático. So let's go find out. Here they are, pupusas. Let's find out how good they are. So cheesy. Delicious. Oh my God, the pupusas were perfect. They were so delicious. I think they're the best I've had here in my stay in El Salvador, in San Salvador specifically. And the place is called El Ático. Definitely, if you come to Planes de Renderos, go to that restaurant because the pupusas are delicious, but also the view is the best. You get to see the volcano and everything else. And this is it for me from San Salvador. It's been fun, it's been chaotic, it's been interesting, and I only see great things happening for the country and the people. So I will definitely come back. And you know, I was born in this country, but I left when I was really young, so this is my first experience in this new change, and I'm really proud of the country, and I will definitely come back and explore more. Cheers, everybody. See you next time.